with, we can work with a lot better. So a lot of times we're working on just gut health when it comes to the first couple of appointments that I have with clients.
So for the COVID vaccine, you said it was the EDTA and the vitamin C helped the graphene oxide.
Yep.
And then maybe explain about like the spike protein that's in there. What can help with that?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
You can break down that loaded question if you want.
We want to talk about nicotine?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Okay, so if you haven't followed Dr. Brian Ardis's work, I don't know where to start with this. Okay, so
My favorite topic.
I know. Let me try and do it justice. So the spike protein that is found in the COVID virus that they've yet to isolate, mind you, that's what they are using to test and create the vaccine from.
Mm-hmm.
So when they did a reverse genealogy test on this spike protein, the media ran with the whole bat theory.
Yeah.
That was third on the list of what it was most identical to. The first two were snakes, specifically the crate snake and the cobra.
Yes.
And so when you start looking and putting the different pieces together from like the CDC website and stuff like that, you'll see there's certain wordings, and this is where Dr. Ardis does the most phenomenal job in the world at
breaking it down,
yes,
presenting this,
everything, because he shows you the trail that he went through to find this information. The one that I watched, it was it's called The Antidote.
Yes.
And it was a good 2-hour chunk. I manhandled my boyfriend and made him watch it with me, and pretty much gave him an anxiety attack. Yeah. Poor man. He was like, can we pause it like halfway through? He's like, let's just take a break. And I'm like, no, we're going through.
You gotta go all night.
I'm like, if you're already stressed, who cares? Like, just rip the Band-Aid off.
Are you like me? Do you take notes? Because I'm weird.
God, no, I am not a note taker. Honestly, I'm the person that's like, oh, I'm gonna remember this. And then when it comes time, I'm like, shit, I don't remember that. I have to see it several times and then say it in order to recall it. But or I'll rewrite it. But no, I'm not great at taking notes in the moment because I focus too much on my.
You're afraid to like miss something.
Yeah. I get so I'm like, I need to take it all in. But yeah, so the spike protein came back bioidentical to the snake genome venom, and there's more bits and pieces throughout. But basically, like when they created the vaccines, they were sourced to a company in Pennsylvania. And it just so happened that the owners of that company also owned an exotic reptile habitat or something along those lines, a testing facility. I don't recall specifically, but I know that they were one of the only places in the country that carried crate snakes and did testing with their venom. So the thing with venom in the body, and we can loop back around to this, is it has a high affinity to nicotine receptor sites. And most people, when I say nicotine, they think cigarettes.
Right.
Nicotine is not addictive. Nicotine is not like toxic. It's not horrible. It's a naturally occurring substance, and we can find it in a lot of nightshade plants. Specifically, eggplant is one of the highest vegetables or highest concentrations of nicotine in a vegetable. So venom has an affinity to our nicotine cell receptor sites, which are found on every single cell of the body. So we'll come back to that. So that's a big note.
Interesting. We were never taught about that.
Crazy.
Anyways.
Well, that was why all the smokers were not getting COVID.
Yeah.
Because they were smoking. They had that nicotine. So the only thing that binds more to those receptor sites is nicotine itself. Yes. So what happens is when you've got this venom in your body, whether it be because you caught COVID or because you were injected with the vaccine that was made from the spike protein of COVID that was derived because I hope at this point we know that COVID was a man-made bioweapon.
I hope.
If not, I don't think that this podcast is for you. Or if you are like, oh my gosh, like I'm just trying to know all the things, reach out because there's plenty of resources for that too. Dr. Fauci had his hands in all of this. It actually originated here in the States, and the regulators, they shut that shit down quick, and so he outsourced it to a lab in Wuhan, China, and they released it during the World Military Olympics that we talked about. That was the same day as Event 201, coincidentally.
Interesting.
That was really stupid. But yeah, I
would like to add a random fact that I know because I was doing my research paper on nicotine about Brian Ardis and whatnot about this. So for the Pfizer vaccine, for the patent for it in section 3.2.1, the reason I remember this because 321 is so easy to remember. It literally mentions that venom was used. It's in the patent. You can look it up. I can show you all after this podcast gets released. I will post that as well. It's literally in there.
Yeah. Yep. And like there's so many places that you can connect the dots if you want to, but it's also so hidden in plain sight that you'll look right over it if you're not looking for it. And they know that. I mean, it's a beautifully designed.
They did so good, but I mean, truth always prevails.
It sure does.
And shout out to Dr. Brian Ardis. Like that man deserves so many awards for the work that he's doing.
Yeah, they try to kill him.
Oh, I know.
They try to poison him
continuously.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dr. Brian Ardis says he wears a 3 milligram nicotine patch and will do so every day for the rest of his life. So to protect himself from all viruses.
Well, I actually, right after I watched his documentary, I had Alexis, the owner of Live Well, the wellness center that I work at. She had a client who was suffering from what they call long COVID.
Yeah.
This woman had been suffering for months. Her doctors had tried everything, like literally everything. She couldn't get out of bed. She was like throwing up every day. She was so dizzy. She could barely stand up. Like really, like she couldn't function. She could not live her day-to-day life. So Alexis called me and she was like, do you have any ideas? Like what can we do to help her? And I was like, hey, try this nicotine thing. Like, and I was like, I know it sounds crazy. Like I don't have time to go through the full like 2 hours worth of information, but like trust me. Well, a couple months, maybe a month or two went by, and one day I was in the center, and Alexis was in our big
the clinic room?
No, the activity room downstairs. Okay. Like it's where we host all our workshops and stuff. So she was in there, and there was somebody using the P90 in there, and I had come down and she was talking to me, and she was like, "Oh yeah, Shannon, blah blah blah," and I heard the lady go, like, Shannon like Smith, and she was like, yeah. Well, the lady got up and like ran over to me and was like hugged me and was like, you saved my life and you don't even know me and blah blah blah. And I was like, I'm so confused right now. Like what? And and then Alexis was like, oh yeah, this is so and so. Like she was the one that I called you about, and you told her to do the nicotine thing. Well, apparently, it was the first thing that had been effective day one.
Yes.
She had immediate results, literally got her whole life back, went to her doctor, told her exactly what she was doing, and her doctor started helping his patients with this. God. And I was like, what a beautiful, like, thank you. Like the fact that like any medical doctor or medical professional that is willing to accept the word and the testimonies of their patients, even though they're not medically trained, that is a beautiful thing. Like they're just because you have credentials doesn't mean that you cannot learn something, right? Like everybody has something that they can teach, and you know, you can learn the weirdest shit in the weirdest places from the weirdest people.
Yes.
Like, I've learned some amazing lessons from some people that I would not choose again to go out of my way to cross paths with, but in the moment it was a blessing, and it was exactly what I needed, and it's how the universe works. Like, you're not given what more than what you need or less than what you need. You're given exactly what you're supposed to have when you're supposed to have it.
I remember Dr. Brian Artis talking about in 1880, that was the first ever reported case of myocarditis, and it was caused by a snake bite.
Yeah.
And nicotine is the antidote, and nicotine like heals the scarring of the heart caused by myocarditis. I'm pronouncing it wrong.
Myocarditis.
Thank you. Yeah. So that was fascinating. I'm like, what? Like, the more you like learn about what he's saying and listen to Dr. Brian Artis, you're like, what the hell?
Well,
this is insane.
Yeah,
this is like some like comic book
like
movie.
One of the craziest things that stuck out to me that I didn't know is that venom in the body will go to the areas of the most predisposed weaknesses, and that's why COVID was showing up in so many different areas. That's why the symptom list was a mile long, including no symptoms. But anyway, that's not here nor there. But because, like, okay, if you had predisposition in the lungs and you weren't a smoker, it would attack the lungs, or it would attack the heart, or whatever area of the body you had weakness in is where it would attack and bind quicker to. And that's why COVID was showing up in so many different areas in different people. But then it's just crazy. But the nicotine goes in and it binds to those sites anywhere in the body. But you also have to be careful, because like people that have gotten the shots and like all the boosters, they may detox too quickly. So that's why muscle testing is really important, or even just slowly, like you can. So his protocol is the 7 milligram patch for 6 days, and then you pause on the 7th day.
Okay.
Some people cannot handle a full 7 milligram patch. I have clients that take half. I have clients that will take a quarter.
Yeah.
And we have them do that until they muscle test that they can handle more. And then we can slowly increase. But your body can only detox as fast as your elimination systems can keep up. And so it's super important that no matter what detox you're doing, you're always taking a good binder and staying hydrated. At hydration period, you should be hydrating every single day. But that is like a big cofactor to most chronic issues is hydration. So flush your systems, get your elimination system supported. The kidneys need that hydration, need to be supported. Every single cell in your body has to be hydrated, or it can't function properly. Think of like a car wash. If you took a dirty car and you scrubbed it with soap and then didn't rinse it off, you're not flushing any of that dirt off. You're literally just mucking it up and then letting it dry back on. Yeah. So water, guys.
I do want to touch on, because I feel like with the nicotine topic, so many people get stuck on the fact, like, I thought nicotine was addictive. So I do want to share about the study that Harvard did in 2015. So they took all different types of lab animals and they tried to get them addicted to all the known addictive substances and drugs. And believe it or not, nicotine was the only one they couldn't get any animal addicted to. So they're like, how is this even possible? So they do a FOIA request, a Freedom of Information Act request, with the tobacco companies. And what they learn is that in the 70s, the tobacco companies hired scientists to figure out how to make cigarettes more addictive. And they came up with the chemicals called pyrazines. So pyrazine is what you're actually addicted to when you smoke cigarettes. The pyrazine is what causes cancer in the lungs. So for the record, people need to understand this. Yep. So the best brand is Rugby. So just think of the sport. You can get it off Amazon for a nicotine patch. Do the 7 milligram, and then, like Shannon was mentioning, you can cut it in half or cut it in fourths and start from there on the dosage. Yeah. So what else should we do? Oh, I know. The most hot topic about the COVID vaccine that we were messaging about.
Oh, yeah. Parasites.
Yes. So this might be something that people listening to this have not heard yet, because this is more of a more difficult thing to find information on, and more difficult thing to find people with the courage to speak on.
Yep.
So, depending on which COVID vaccine you received, there are parasites that were intentionally added to those vials. And Dr. Robert O. Young, I believe is his name, he's the one that first discovered it. And then Dr. Lee Merritt has been talking about it. But Dr. Robert, he risks his whole entire career to come out publicly with what he found. And he used the dark field, what's the name of those microscopes?
Dark field microscopy?
Yes.
Okay.
That is what he used to be able to find it.
Yeah, well, you have to.
Yeah.
Same with the nanotech and stuff. Like your typical day-to-day microscope, it won't pick up on it. So you have to have that dark field.
Yeah, and those are expensive.
Yeah.
So
those are no joke.
Yeah.
Well, and at the end of the day, honestly, everything is parasites.
Yeah.
I mean, and parasites are not necessarily a bad thing. Like there's something that we have this balance, this coexistence with, just like bacteria, viruses. I'm not sure how I feel on that spectrum, but fungi, all of it, just like the soil, our gut, our whole body has this beautiful balance. And the problem lies when we get out of balance, because we have an environment that is conducive to overgrowth or imbalance. And that's where problems arise. So parasites, they're everywhere. I mean, we're not going to rid our body of them, but we can at least create an environment in our body that is balanced as far as pH, that is nutrient dense, that has proper elimination systems, and that keeps them in balance. But like, okay, so I don't know how deep we want to go with this parasite thing. So
well, I do want to mention one of the parasites that's in one of the vials is a hydra, which is a parasite that's immortal.
So it's probably man manipulated.
Yes. So these are genetically modified parasites.
Yeah, that's a different
which
beast.
You could consider a bioweapon.
Yes.
A form of mind control as well, because they do control the mind. Yeah. And I think like this, people need to realize this happened. And if this happened, why would you continue to choose to trust these pharmaceutical companies? So I personally will never trust any pharmaceutical injectable ever again.
Oh, anything.
At the very least.
I don't trust the drugs. Yes. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not damning medicine, because there is a time and a place. I think especially in emergency situations or situations where you really need to buy yourself some time, the medical, approach to things is amazing. We have come so far with how much we've been able to offset certain disease processes or even do surgical repairs. Like it's amazing. There are so many incredible things coming from our doctors, our surgeons, our amazing nurses. Like I don't want for a second people to think that I don't see how amazing they are, but stay in your lane, because the medical field has nothing to do with wellness. Aside from a handful, I will say there are a lot of medical professionals that really are doing a great job of existing within the medical model and still not, giving into like, I know a doctor who, he is the coolest guy I've ever met, and he's never prescribed a pharmaceutical.
Wow.
He's awesome.
Yeah. That's cool.
And, so there are some really amazing medical professionals. So I just wanted to make it very clear, like, I'm not trying to damn them at all.
It's not them that makes this decision. It's who they report to.
Yep. It's the government
Rockefeller,
agencies.
Big Pharma.
Yeah. So I think this is probably a good time to take a second to say that nothing that I am saying on here is medical advice. And, anything that you take from this is my personal education and background. So use it at your own risk, and always make sure to, check up with your medical provider. And also, I'm not suicidal, and I would never take my own life. I know I said I used to be, but let me clarify. I very much love my life, and I don't have any pressing medical issues or anything that would cause my immediate demise.
Mhm.
Let me just make that very clear.
I love how we have to give those warnings. Yeah. So